Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kenny Lamons here with Medicare Millennials. Today, I want to talk about a super important and super exciting concept that I believe every single insurance agent needs to be familiar with. And for me personally, it was the secret ingredient. It was the trick, so to speak, that took me from barely hanging on by a thread to a six-figure earner early on, and now has kind of the power of transforming my business into just more than I could have ever hoped for. Okay. And so, what that is what I like to call the art of the policy review. If you can master this, whether you're brand new or you already have a book of business and you want to know how to take it to the next level, let me explain this to you as a concept. I will explain how to technically do it as well on the second part of this video. But at first, I just want you to understand from my experience how it transformed my ability to be a successful insurance agent and continues to impact my agency today. And that is, again, the art of the policy review. Okay? This is going to be good, guys. Very actionable and I think important to a lot of you. So, first of all, I believe this is the single biggest thing you can do to become profitable early on as an insurance agent. And the only way that this doesn't pertain to you is if you have fallen into a situation where you have a massive inflow of leads, okay? So if you have a massive, endless, stable flow of leads coming in that is allowing you to sell super high volume of one particular product, then by all means stick with that. But for the rest of us that have encountered the trials and tribulations around the lead industry, and leads are more and more expensive, so some things work, then they work for a little while, then the cost goes up, and we have so many variables. This is the trick that you need to get profitable now if you're not already profitable, and to really multiply your business from here. It's the art of the policy review. Okay, so unless you have a massive volume of leads that you trust, this is going to be for you. So I'm going to talk first about the mindset versus the technique. So a couple of things about the mindset between a policy review. A policy review transforms you. Day one, the day that you understand this and begin to apply this, it transforms you from an insurance salesperson into an advisor. I've had friends that I've encountered that just say, hey, how's that, your business going with the insurance stuff? I said, oh, it's great. What I love most about it is just how flexible I'm able to be with my time. And they'll say things like, man, I'd love to do something like that, but I'm just not a salesman. And inevitably, I tell them, really neither am I. I kind of failed when I tried to be a salesperson early on in this business. But the moment that you learn how to do a policy review, and your entire goal is to become a master at the art of policy reviews, you go from salesperson to advisor immediately. And not only that, all of a sudden you're able to close deals that you were never able to before. So this kind of sounds pie in the sky. I'll get super practical with it, but I want you to understand the mindset and just how groundbreaking this simple concept is once you begin to apply it. So here's why, whenever you focus on reviewing policies instead of selling a product or selling policies, it changes everything for you. Number one, you will always get more referrals when you have done an effective policy review. So let's talk about what a policy review is real quick, then this will make a lot more sense. So a policy review is when you review, it doesn't matter if we're talking Medicare, life insurance, annuity, home and auto. I know for home and auto insurance, this is massively important as well. But whatever product you're selling, what you want to do to put yourself to make yourself trustworthy in front of people with the policy review is you want to look at the situation they're in right now and find a way to make it better. So the key part there is that there is a problem. They're responding to you. They're continuing a conversation with you. They filled out a lead card. They're willing to sit down and talk to you because something isn't right. There's a problem with their insurance. Some are big, some problems, some are small problems, but they're willing to talk to you because they know something could be better. So you are going to focus your efforts on just making them feel comfortable, saying, let me just review what you already have And if there's nothing better you can do, I'll tell you that. If there's a problem that needs to be fixed and you can do better, I'll present you with some options that can fix your problem. Okay, so that's the concept of a policy review. We don't start with, oh my gosh, look at this product I have. It is amazing. Let me tell you why. We don't start there. When you have mastered the art of the policy review, we start with nothing to do with the products that we're going to offer, but what is your current situation? I genuinely care, and I genuinely believe I have the knowledge and the resources to help make that situation better. Okay, so that's kind of the mindset between a policy review. So back to what it does for you, if you can wrap your head around this, and then I'm going to give you some techniques, some practical techniques of how to do it. So you're always going to get massive referrals whenever you provide the service of a policy review to somebody. And how much easier is it to ask for a referral? Hey, Betty, if you found this really useful today, I know you weren't aware that your life insurance policy was about to lapse. Okay, they are going to be able to offer to their friends like, hey, has anybody looked at your life insurance policy? My agent did that for me. It turns out it was about to lapse and he got me in a better spot, right? So it's like they can tell about the experience you gave them and the problem you solved for them instead of saying, hey, this guy sold me a life insurance policy. You should call him because it's the best policy ever, right? You can see the big difference there in how you're going to generate referrals with this mindset. Number two, you're going to build a lot of trust a lot faster. Because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care thing, right? Well, when you review somebody's policy, there is a chance you may not be able to do anything. You may never even get to the point to be able to present the product that you want to offer your client. So I believe that it builds trust early and often, and it displays your knowledge and your skills as you're reviewing their current policy. It creates sticky clients, so clients that are very loyal, and you've proven your usefulness to this client, so they tend to be loyal to you year over year when things change or when there's massive changes in the market like PNC has experienced or which we may be experiencing in the Medicare market. They're going to be a lot more likely to reach out to you first instead of just going with the next agent that calls them. So it creates sticky clients, and it's going to create a much better ROI, a return on investment for whatever your time and effort and money you're spending on leads. The reason that is because it opens the door not only for you to sell the product that's your primary, but it opens the door to cross-sell no matter what industry you're in. And we need to be cross-selling to maximize the profitability and the longevity of each client. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few examples of techniques. I've already kind of ran through that's going to help you build trust, it's going to help you get referrals, it's going to display your skills, it's going to create stickier clients, and it's going to open the door for you to be able to cross-sell when you do a policy review. So let me give you a few examples in our business, in the life and health space, particularly Medicare, and a couple other examples. First of all, what if you're sitting with somebody who's turning 65? Your argument may be, well, I really like to focus on T65s, and I mostly believe in Medicare supplements, and so I don't have any policy to review. This is their first time buying it, so I just jump right into Medicare supplements. That's fine if that works for you. I personally would completely throw that method out, and I would go with the art of the policy review. So instead, what you're going to be comparing to them is you're going to be reviewing for them either what the group insurance that they're coming off of, right? So you're comparing what Medicare and a Medicare plan will look like compared to the group coverage. You're reviewing their current situation to advise them on how it could be better. Or they already got a Medicare card in the mail, that's it. You're comparing original Medicare, right, just A and B, to maybe it's a Medicare supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan, right? And so even when you're visiting with somebody who doesn't yet own the product that you have, you're comparing nothing their current situation. You're reviewing what happens if you go to the hospital with nothing or with just Medicare A and B versus how it would look differently with the policy that I can offer you, okay? So with T65s, we always want to compare and give choices. So even if you preferred mostly to sell Medicare Advantage plans or Medicare supplements, I would highly encourage you to compare both options. Even if you have a natural lean of one towards the other, you're going to create so much more trust and bring so much more value. Let me give you an example. Let's say that Medicare Advantage you think is going to be the best fit for this person. You recommend that to them. But then a year later, they call you and they say, hey, I want to look at a Medicare supplement. This hasn't worked out very well. But I found out that I have to answer health questions. Why didn't you tell me that from the beginning? That if I wanted to go to a Medicare supplement later on, I have to ask health questions, right? So if you only talked about the Medicare Advantage plan and you didn't give them options and review them, then you omitted information that's massively maybe detrimental to them in the future, okay? So you can avoid all of that. Even if you believe Medicare Advantage is the best fit, when you present multiple options to these people, you review it, their current situation, compare it to what it could be, you're actually creating trust and doing right by the client. And a lot of times they're going to go with your recommendation nonetheless. So let's talk about life insurance. So this is a huge one. In fact, it's really, really hard to sell life insurance if you don't haven't mastered the mindset and the art of reviewing policy reviews, okay? So almost every life insurance sale I make is super simple. It goes something like this. Here's a technical example. Hey, Betty, you told me that you do currently pay for life insurance. What company is that with? And sometimes they'll know, sometimes they won't. Okay, so let's say oh, it's Transamerica. Okay, great. What type of life insurance is that? I'll say, well, what do you mean? It's just life insurance. I don't know what type. Is it term? Is it whole? Is it universal? Is it permanent? And then usually they won't know. Okay, but let's say that let's say that they know it's whole life. Okay, how much is the death benefit should you pass away? How much does it cost you every month? Do you have any cash value? You're going to learn 5 or 6 probing questions to ask them about their current policy. And I promise you, 99% of the time, one of those questions they won't know the answer to. Okay? So now is the hook. So you say, Betty, first of all, that's awesome that you have a life insurance policy. A lot of the people I sit with, they don't even have life insurance. So you're one step ahead of the game there. But since you don't know what type of life insurance you have and if it's permanent or if it ends, I'd love to do a free policy review for you. And even if you don't have the policy, we can call into the company together and ask them these questions and have them mail you a new policy. That way you know exactly what you have. And do a policy review with them. This isn't universal. That method wouldn't go exactly like that. I'm giving you a technical example of how easy it is to walk into reviewing somebody's current policy. And then once you go through that process with them, it's going to naturally identify the weaknesses of that policy or if it's a bad fit for this person. For instance, if you called into Transamerica, say, yes, ma'am, this is Betty's term policy, and the initial term ends in May of 2025, and then the premium's going to go up to $1,000 per month. Like, her eyes are probably going to get this big. She's probably not going to be aware of that, and there's probably a great opportunity if everything else works out with her health, for you to maybe get a different policy in there for her. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you review policies, the opportunities open up on their own. You don't even have to ask for the sale, so to speak. You just need to go through the process of reviewing that for them, and they're going to ask you for a solution. So it's such a dynamic change to the old school method of, hey, the people that recruited me as an agent, they told me MedSup was the best thing since sliced bread or Medicare Advantage. In fact, they said, just stick with United Healthcare. They're the best ever. And so I know those plans inside and out. And I can tell you every reason why you should get the United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan. You will always be a low tier agent if you're competing on the independent level, okay? If you're a career agent, that may be a different story. But if you're trying to be an independent agent and you have that type of mindset, you'll always be lower tier compared to your neighborly agent, someone down the street that has the mindset of, let me just review what you have and present options to fix your solution. So I can definitely go into more detail and give you a lot more examples of how you do a policy review and how you implement that. But I'm going to end the video here. This has already been long enough. This is the way, again, let me give you to finalize the video right here. I was making like 30 grand a year that my first year trying to sell insurance, and I just couldn't understand why. I was desperate, I had commission breath, and I was really pushing a product. The moment that I shifted my mindset and became an advisor by reviewing their situation, I immediately became a six-figure earner and that was back when I was selling final expense. And then now in my business, as I take the same approach with my current book of business, I get referrals like crazy. I'm much more respected for the service I offer, and therefore I generate so many more referrals. I believe you guys can do the exact same thing in your business. So hope this was helpful. Have a great day.